Hey there, Capricorn. I hope you guys are doing wonderfully. Thank you so much for your patience in regard to me being gone for a while. I was super sick and dealing with a lot of life struggles, trials, and tribulations. So I am back. Yeah, I want to go ahead and get into your reading for July 2020. I'm going to be doing a general energy here for you guys, and then we will do a couples and singles read. So, you can feel free to watch it all or move along as you like, whatever works for you, okay? One more. Okay, that feels better. So you have the Death card here at the bottom of the deck, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Magician in reverse. So for the Death card to show up here, it's about endings, but it's also about new beginnings. It's about closing chapters in your life and putting the past behind you. There's an element of overcoming personal fears in this regard, and also creating a new life for yourself, realizing that once you move forward, things will not be the same, okay? But that's good. We don't need the same. Life is not the same all the time. Life is constantly flowing and changing and ebbing and doing its thing, morphing like a crazy thing. And I'm sorry if I cough. I don't know. After being sick, I cough a lot more. So I need to get some water. So change with the Death card. Can talk about a career change. Can also in relationships talk about having, second thoughts about your relationship if there's longevity for it. This is a general read. I'm not going to try and focus so much on love, but it can also indicate that either way, something is not moving forward until something drops out. So we have a card of hesitancy, a card of non-movement, stagnancy with the Four of Pentacles, which basically is talking about not allowing things to flow, okay? So the Four of Pentacles, either you are taking yourself off of the table, taking your help, like retracting your help, retracting your energy. It can talk about creating a boundary or a barrier between you and a person. Also, which with jobs as well, you have two Pentacle cards here, which talk about stability and foundations within your job life. Can also talk about personal finance as well. With the Four of Pentacles, though, there's a pause, there's a stop here, and there's an aspect of rigidity behind it, which can be helpful, especially if you are in a situation where you might not be getting treated fairly. With the Six of Pentacles upright, it does indicate that there's a fairness and equality. It also could be you are holding off on a situation and preferring to leave something because there isn't that. And it kind of like shows me a little bit more of that because of the Magician being in the reverse. The Magician in the reverse is not always a trickster, he's not always somebody that is going to fleece you, but it can also talk about having it can talk about miscommunications. It can talk about empty promises, especially in a work format. False possibilities, being taken for a ride, and it's kind of an unreliable source, and you can't really take something seriously or this person seriously. Could be a job situation, a boss, or just whatever you're dealing with right now in your life that you're just like, okay, this needs an overhaul, this needs to change. I will say, though, too, with the Death card here and the Magician in reverse, be careful about if you're having a hard time believing in yourself moving forward. Take your time. Take your time. The Death card talks about massive transformation, okay? Ideally, we want this upright because it indicates that we have dealt with this in a healthy way. We've dealt with the process of death, the Death card, in a healthy way. It doesn't mean somebody's dying. The Death card just means that there's transformation. If you're dealing with somebody that's dying, sure, could be that, but it's more about personal change, personal pursuits, change of situations that are foundational in your life, So with the Magician being in the reverse, things aren't gelling, things aren't moving. You might feel that there might be fishiness afoot if you were to maintain, this connection or relationship or whatever it is. So I prefer to see that upright, but It just tells me that there's a process happening here. You know, you want better equality in your situations, you want better longevity in your situations, equal fairness, reciprocation. If it's a work situation, your you don't want your information to be censored. There's some aspect here where it's like you're kind of being put in a corner, and I don't like that. So either you get to change that or the universe will change it for you. But I feel like there's a process and a flow here for you, Capricorn, and I think you will make the right decision no matter what. To turn this upright, though, you have to go through this. Show me the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you've got the Six of Swords. So letting go of the situation, it may have been something that caused you a lot of frustration, emotional distress. It doesn't have to mean just heartbreak or somebody broke up with you. The Three of Swords has a lot of indications, and it's kind of an interesting one. It can talk about sorrow or separating yourself from a situation, emotionally painful situations, you know, and also rejection. And I want to say too, this doesn't just have to be you being rejected. This can also be you rejecting a business or a job or a person, you know. It could also be an issue where communication has not been correct with you and a party or a business. So now you're shutting each other out. This is all about shutting each other out, but here I like the fact that we're moving away from it, moving forward to something better. Show me the Six of Pentacles here for Capricorn, general energy. Six of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. She's been coming up in a lot of readings, you guys, with the Empress at the bottom of the deck. I love this. It's a very powerful, potent energy, okay? So with the Queen of Swords, you have somebody who is in their mind in regard to, or they're better equipped to deal with situations that might be difficult to handle, dramatic energies, things that are emotionally heavy. And if it's not emotionally heavy, it's just frustrating. There's an aspect here with the Queen of Swords to really look at something through the lens of logic, reality, and facts versus emotions or feeling like you've been done wrong or something of that nature. It's really about harnessing the power within yourself to move forward in a very clear-headed and meaningful way. There's purpose in how you go forward from this. With the Empress at the bottom of the deck, I love that just because it really talks about growth. You have cards of growth here, the Death card, the Empress. It's almost as if like there's a transformation here, Capricorn. There's an energy that you are beginning to exalt your energy. It can also talk about mother energy, death of a mother. I don't want to put that out there because, you know, I don't want to freak people out, but there may also have been a situation where you're kind of holding on to things here, you know, holding on to your money, holding on to just life in general, kind of trying to keep it together, where you may have isolated yourself a lot. There's an aspect here where we're coming forward, we're coming out, we're creating more, we're being more available to the rest of the world. Or our surroundings, the people in our surroundings. I love this combination, though. It's really direct, it's pointed, and it's really powerful. The Empress is somebody who takes care of themselves. They take care of their situations, their finances, their homes. Really get your home in order, make it feel like it's a sanctuary for yourself. She's all about pampering yourself, taking care of yourself. This card is all about self-care, especially if you're in a situation where you're feeling like the world is kind of maybe coming in on you a little bit. All about self-care, taking care of yourself. Take a nice warm bubble bath, Epsom salt bath, you know, I don't know, light some candles, put on some anthrax or something and really lay down and get into it, you know, that kind of energy. So I kid. I meant Megadeth. I don't know. I don't know what the kids are listening to these days. Show me the Magician in reverse. Why is the Magician in reverse here for Capricorn, please? Hey, you have the Hierophant in reverse with the Devil at the bottom of the deck. So the Hierophant in reverse is an interesting energy. You know, it talks about doing things on your own, doing things in your own way. In reverse, it's a release of wanting to be part of higher structures that we have kind of just adopted into our lives. We've got, you know, the AMA, the American Medical Association. We've got, you know, the FDA. We've got all of these things. There's schools. There's it talks about structures and tradition, big company type entities and energies with the Hierophant. In reverse, this talks about moving forward on your own and doing it in a way that is suited for you. The Magician in reverse, I don't feel that this is a trickster. I feel that this is your potential, not yet engaged, not yet moving forward. There's more here than meets the eye with this, and it really takes some initiative, especially when we've got the Death card and the Devil. So for these to be at the bottom of the decks, this is telling me that there may be a need to really kind of reel yourself in. Where are you spending your money? Where are you spending your time? How are you spending your emotions fixated on things? What are you doing to clear your energy? Very very different energy from the Empress, okay, which was at the bottom of the deck the last time. With this, the Devil talks about drug addiction, it talks about alcoholism, it talks about porn addiction, connections where we are really that aren't healthy for us to be a part of. You know, there's really no give and take. You're being used. It's a very codependent energy, a lot of stifled energy. You know, it can also just be how we see ourselves as well, where we have a lot of negative self-talk and negative connections to ourself and that we've held on to for a long time. I love that the Six of Swords is here, because it's really telling me that you're getting your focus better, more so focused on yourself, and you're feeling better about your energy, better enough to move away from it, you know, and to do your own damn thing. I love that Hierophant here with the Magician in reverse. I don't see it as a negative thing. I see this as a starting point for you to transform. With the Death card, that's actually feels like it's happening. I want you guys to remember, with major arcana cards here, you have they show up when we are going to be dealing with something on a bigger level within our life. So life lesson energy, change, transformation type energies, seeing different aspects of yourself, especially with the Death card. It's really blowing yourself out of the water and kind of shedding all of this old energy, old skin, so you can reemerge as a new person. And I love that we're really addressing things internally with the Devil. It could be internal, how we deal with, you know, emotions or negativity, or how we deal with our sorrow and fear when it turns into toxic things, like we'll start overeating or over drinking, or, you know, doing heroin or whatever it is, sniffing coke or fucking watching too much porn. There's so many aspects of this energy that can be infused in your relationship with yourself, you know, so it's really kind of like flossing your energy. You're like getting the bits out of yourself. It's really important to do that. And I feel like you have a lot of movement forward. Also, too, when you do decide to reemerge here, Capricorn, I feel that this energy is going to be dynamic. I feel it's going to be fucking powerhouse energy, because you'll know yourself. You'll know what you want to do, the direction you want to go, and how it works for you. And I love that. It's all about doing it on your own, doing it your own way, and kind of being different about it, being unique. The Hierophant in reverse, it really talks about infusing your forward experiences and direction with your own uniqueness. You're going against the grain. You're doing things that might not be traditional. It's being kind of, I don't know, it's kind of an anarchic, and I can't even say it. Anarchy energy, but in a healthy way, in a good way. And I think right now, with all of like the establishment changes and all of the way that we're looking at the world and how things are happening right now, Capricorn, I think that might be the best way to move through it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get into couples readings here for you guys. I hope that was helpful as a general. Okay, show me couples energy for the sign of Capricorn. I'm going to shuffle these a little bit more, okay? Just a little. Show me energy for the sign of Capricorn, please. Okay, so you have the World, couples energy, 8 of Pentacles, Six of Swords coming out here. It was in the last spread. 7 of Wands. So the Ten of Wands did want to come out. It's at the bottom of the deck, Capricorn couples. Pardon me. So with this energy, with the World in reverse, the World in reverse is such an interesting card. There's so much to deal with the World, but it's something where oftentimes we're returning to something that either is not completed. There's still some sort of connection to a person that we need to work through. There's a lot of karmic energy when it comes to the World, especially in reverse. It can talk about when we are not necessarily done with lessons with a partner, where things are still left unsaid. We are in a retrograde energy, I do believe, and so this can also indicate where people in your life come back, or people from the past come back to your life. With the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck, though, this really tells me that you're at a stage where you're ready to let go of things. It may not be as burdensome as it has been in the past, whatever connection it is. Feels like there might be some defense, or like having to... with the Seven of Wands, almost having to like defend your communication, defending what you want in a relationship, defending yourself kind of endlessly. Some of it might be a situation where you're just overly protective of yourself, or the person is. But I feel with the World in reverse and the Seven of Wands here, I'm sorry. Oh my God, my nose and everything else. God, let me get some water. I'm sorry. It's like catching my breath for a second. Oh. The Seven of Wands is kind of like putting up boundaries in a situation and being okay to say no, regaining your voice. It could be situations where there's old issues that need to be resolved with you and your partner, and it feels like you're just kind of over it. Whatever it is, there's some aspect here that needs to be cleared up and changed so that this can go upright, just because in reverse it really says that the energies are not they're not being let go of. We still have like unresolved issues that are just kind of like lingering here that need to be really addressed. So with the Eight of Pentacles, it feels like that is addressed. You have the work done by two partners. You have, if it's a personal matter, it's like two people working on the same situation, or one person working more. The Eight of Swords in reverse, we have an energy where we're no longer worried about things in our heads. It's kind of allowing things to move forward and be a little bit easier. I like this also with the Six of Swords, just because it does denote an energy of moving away from a situation that has been very negative for you, something that's left you a lot in your mind about things with the Nine of Swords. But again, the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords are both in reverse, so it's a change. It's a drastic change. Some of you may be changing a situation and leaving a partner if there's too much conflict or issues where you're having to defend yourself too much. Some of you may move towards a work situation and experience better a balance in your future with the Six of Swords. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. I'm sorry, I can't help coughing. Show me the World in reverse with the Seven of Wands here for the sign of Capricorn, please. Seven of Wands and the World. Okay. So you have the Four of Pentacles coming forward, and you have the Eight of Pentacles upright with the Queen, with the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Empress has been here a little bit. She was in the last reading. Okay, so with the World in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse, there's an aspect here and an element where it's like if you're dealing with a partner where there's been problems or just ongoing issues, it's almost as if like you just don't care. This is like, don't care. Like, you'll work on it with a person, or just say it's not important enough to deal with at this point. I would rather work on myself. And with this Eight of Pentacles showing up here twice in the reading, but also on the Eight of the Seven of Wands, it's telling me that there's basically an energy where it's like, this is too much to deal with. This is too many problems with the situation. I would rather focus my energy on myself and get better results. I like that. With the Empress in reverse, it's about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, and doing things that make you feel better. Not about other people. It can be about other people in the big picture, but on a personal note, it's more about taking care of yourself in a really really, exalted way, making sure that you're taken care of. So you have the Eight of Cups coming out here in regard to this situation, Capricorn couples. Some of you may be walking away. Some of this could also be a situation where there's a burden in a relationship where one partner is needing to travel a lot too for work. It's back and forth. It may be a burden in the relationship where work is getting in the way of everything, and it might be too much to the point where it's like, oh, where am I in the relationship? Where do I show up? Do I show up in the relationship? Or is the partner just like, just focused on their work, their money? So it feels like you might be dealing with a very goal-oriented person, or you are very goal-oriented. Capricorns are very goal-oriented. What am I saying? Very goal-oriented with this Eight of Pentacles coming up here twice. Show me the Six of Swords and the Nine. Thank you. So you have the Nine of Pentacles here and the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. With the Nine of, did I say Pentacles? Nine of Wands, I'm sorry. The Nine of Wands is a card of being, it's standing your ground, it's finding the courage to communicate what you need from a situation, and really taking focus of that and making it happen, really addressing things with a person, or if this has become too much of a burden, you need to address that. You need to communicate if somebody is like traveling too much or there's not enough connection, whatever this connection is a burden at this point. It feels like you're trying to walk away, but then there's this aspect with the Nine of Wands where it's like, I can still stay in it. I can still try. You need to do what makes best sense for you. With the Three of Cups here and the Ten of Wands, whatever has been overwhelming for you, it might be good to reconnect with people who you are in good standing with, who love you, family members, friends, whatever it is, whoever they are, to ease your energy, to communicate to maybe go out with, have a drink, have some tea, have a Skype or a Zoom meeting, whatever it may be. It's connecting with people that feel good. I feel kind of an emptiness here with this reading, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I feel like it's, I feel like I'm alone. You might be in a partnership, but somebody's not getting enough and it's becoming a burden, or it's come to like a head. Can you give me advice for Capricorn, please, for couples? So you have the Wishing Well coming out. Now, with this card, it is about wishes granted and, positivity and wisdom and newfound understanding and change, but it's also about really addressing what you want. What do you want out of this situation? If you're tired of feeling alone, if you don't feel that this situation is changing, or, this burden is just maintaining it, you're holding on to it. You have the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands. You're at a change. You're at a period where you can change and experience some happiness here, but it really depends on what you want, Capricorn couples. So I'm going to let this reading go just because it's starting to feel very specific, and I would rather give a more broad spectrum reading. I'm going to move into Capricorn singles. Show me energy for Capricorn singles, please. This Four of Pentacles has been throughout your reading. It's kind of crazy like that. The Four of Pentacles, again, denotes an energy where we retract ourselves. We don't want to do anything that's going to rock the boat. It can also be a card of hoarding. It can be a card of choosing to remain to yourself. Sometimes that's helpful, sometimes it isn't. It depends on what your situation is. If you're trying to heal your life and change your experience, I think that first reading that we did with the general energy might be something that can be helpful here, Capricorn. With the Two of Wands, this is about new direction, new directions, putting your energy into projects from the beginning and really kind of dedicating yourself to what you're putting into them so you have a better outcome in the future. With the Five of Pentacles, it's an interesting kind of energy to be in just because we have a situation where the Five of Pentacles talks about lack. Okay, it talks about financial lack. It talks about feeling left out in the cold. It can talk about, somebody leaving you or just literally not having enough money, not feeling your tip top, and kind of being stuck in that energy for a long time. It's not something that I like here, okay? Capricorn singles. And I'm sure you guys are like, well, who's coming for me? I'm going to deal with this versus who's coming for you, because if your life is not working right and you're not in harmony with yourself, whoever comes is not going to matter just because you're going to be out of whack. When you are in your best state, when you're in the best place in yourself and you have better energy to give yourself, you're consistent with your life, you're loving with yourself, you're doing things that are prosperous, you're not in debt or in poverty, then the right people will come into your life. But if you're dealing with this type of energy, it's not the best place to introduce a relationship, And I don't mean to laugh at anybody. It's just, a lot of people look outwardly like a relationship is going to fix you or your situation, and that's not how it is. We need to take care of ourselves first. So definite energy of lack with this Five of Pentacles, and it needs to be addressed. And I think we are addressing it with the Two of Wands, just because this is almost as if like we're looking back to our previous energies. We're looking back to maybe to times where we've held our energy back, where we should have put it forward, where we maybe should have, tried a different project, but our fear may have gotten in the way of us doing that. Somehow we kind of clammed up and didn't move forward. We didn't advance. So here with the Two of Wands, this is really telling me that there's a possibility to move forward. There's a possibility to change things. But some of you may need to look to the past to have that change happen. So this could be an internal change. This could be looking at your life from childhood up, things that you've held on to internally. Also, this can also be limiting beliefs in regard to your finances, or like sometimes this is all I'm worth, or this is all I can make. There's an aspect here sometimes or right now where it's kind of challenging you on how you receive and what you take into your life. And I think that that's important for you to be in understanding about, just because if you're seeing yourself as lesser than, if you're seeing yourself as not having enough, not feeling like you're empowered or happy in your life, it's time to change that. And I think what happens here, Capricorn, is that this is kind of talking about a pause, okay? It's kind of talking about needing to take a break for yourself. I I know that a lot of us are really frustrated in this time, but it's also a strangely odd time, or an oddly strange, it's a good time to actually spend time with yourself. We're all, in our homes doing what we need to do. Not a lot of us are going back out. I know there have been people out there, but there's also spikes in illness that are happening as well. So take care of yourself. But with the Queen of Pentacles here and this Five of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles be showing up in this situation, she's in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles is not the greatest card in reverse, It really denotes an energy where we are lacking in our stability, our finances, our internal happiness. We're lacking in energy that makes us feel vital. She's very connected to that Empress energy for me. There's a thriving, living, like beautiful connection to earth and to the body and to your physical life, your tactile energy, what makes you here and part of this physical world. This could also be a lot in the head as well, and not knowing how to move forward. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse is an interesting card too, just because on an internal point, it can talk about where we kind of give up on ourselves, where we maybe aren't feeding ourselves well enough, or we're watching trash TV and our brain is getting like filled with garbage, you know. We're not moving forward in our lives in prosperous ways. We are scared of our potential. You know, we might not have enough money for the family or to put food on the table, and it's taking a toll on the person. It's almost like it's a self-reflection where we're like, oh my God, I'm falling apart. Like, this is awful. I'm poor, or I don't deserve this, or I don't deserve money, or we need to change that narrative here and turn towards the Queen of Wands. I love this, and I love that it comes after a resting period for you, Capricorn singles. With the energy presented here with the Four of Swords, it tells me that there is a necessity here for you to take a break, for you to take a break and go within. You know, people are like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, we're on break, essentially. Take a break from this break and go within yourself. Look what's going on within yourself. Where do you feel that you're lacking? Where are you needing to face certain fears? Where are you needing to change your narrative about yourself and what you're worthy of and what you are deserving of, okay? There's a lot of change in that. There's a lot of self-change and reflection here, especially with the Queen of Wands. Because I feel when you really take some time for yourself and start to reassess and readdress your experience as a human being and what you're worth and your value here, you're going to start to pick up this momentum of change with the Queen of Wands. And I love that, just because she's really an energy of massive direction. She's highly independent and very ambitious. This is one of the most goal-oriented energies out there. You know, there's a huge amount of creativity that goes within this energy. She's very, very beautiful in regard to that. Also, it picks your energy up where you do feel beautiful. You start to radiate a bit. This is a very vital, radiant personal card. It's very beautiful, and I love this. Very attractive and very purposeful. There's a lot of purpose behind what they do. They go after their goals and they achieve them. It turns this Queen of Pentacles all around, and I love that. And then you move towards the Six of Pentacles, which is essentially getting to positions where you're able to afford more, where you're able to experience more. There's a progression here, if you notice. Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, they're all upright. There's a progression. You're letting go of a stagnancy and you're moving towards success. You're moving to balance and fairness with yourself, you know? And I think that that's going to alleviate a lot of mental frustration here. The Queen of Pentacles is your sign, by the way, like this Capricorn energy. It's in reverse. So how do you stabilize your foundation? How do you ground? I would suggest try to do grounding exercises or learning things on YouTube, maybe binaural beats or chakra cleansing energies. You know, you can type in how to ground, you know, how to ground your spiritual energy, how to ground for meditation, you know, whatever it is that you're looking for, go ahead and do that. I'm not picking up like gigantic, like huge love readings in this reading. I feel like this is more of a personal situation to get you feeling better, or whomever this is for, to get them feeling better about themselves, because it feels like we've kind of got a hiccup here. And I love that the Three of Swords is falling out in reverse here, okay? Three of Swords in reverse with the star at the bottom of the deck. I love it. I love it. The star talks about trusting your inner guidance, trusting your inspiration, finding inspiration within your experience. Sometimes when we're in the darkest depths, that's where we draw upon the experience for change. I love that. With the Three of Swords in reverse, you have an energy where you are no longer allowing whatever this energy is, poverty, you know, feeling impoverished, feeling like you're not good enough, like you lack. It's letting it go. These are long-standing energies that can be piercing your heart for a long time. You know, this doesn't just have to be a situation where somebody kicked you out or left you out in the cold and now you're heartbroken. I feel like this goes deeper than that. It's an energy where we are releasing old baggage, old wounds, old thought patterns of how we are and who we are. It feels like there's a need for expansion here. I really do like that. And again, there's a bit of a progression. So you have the Three of Swords in reverse, moving towards the Four of Swords upright. This is all about healing, okay? Sure, you can be heartbroken about a person. It can be another earth sign. It could be a fire sign. You're wanting equality. There's possibilities of that. But I also feel like there's a very strong message here for me to communicate what I am communicating to you. Follow your intuition, follow your inner guidance. This will lead you to wonderful things. The star talks about energies where we are dealing with it. I don't like saying this just because, not everybody is, but it can talk about fame. It can talk about becoming celebrity. It can also talk about just being seen for who you are and how you shine in life, going towards the directions that you want. It's a very healthy energy and I love it. It's very healing as well. It's a huge card of healing, the star. So keep that in mind, okay? Show me the Four of Swords with the Queen of Wands. You have the Eight of Wands coming out here with the Tower at the bottom of the deck. So, bang, the Tower is, I like the Tower actually. It's a very powerful card. It talks about where we are changing situations in our life. Sometimes it's the universe coming through and breaking down faulty foundations so we can move forward. Here though too, we can also enact the Tower. We can also create massive change in our life. It may be something that's sudden, but it's change no matter what, It can be good or bad. It really, if you're guiding it through though, oftentimes it's going to be a bit more positive because it's intentional change. With the Eight of Wands here, that's the go card. It's supportive of moving forward. It's supportive of really being in a higher state of balance within yourself so that you can move forward more, especially with the Queen of Wands here. It feels like there may be travel in the future. There may just be a forward movement and feeling very much in yourself, feeling your energy increase. But it all comes after taking a break and really trying to do good for yourself. Show me the Queen of Pentacles with the Six of Pentacles. Love it. Fucking love it, you guys. Five of Pentacles in reverse, bottom of the deck, the Seven of Pentacles. A lot of you, it feels like there are money issues within your situation. It feels like there's blockages, like internal personal blockages within money, maybe about how you see money or how you spend it, how you feel about it, whatever that connection is, needs to be rectified because it's getting in the way of your experience in regard to further potential and your abundance. At the bottom of the deck, we have the the Seven of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles, I like this card. It's about taking care of your financial matters. There's a very definite focus on financial matters. It's about your savings. It's about, investments, deeper evaluation into your financials, But it's addressing that, it's planning ahead and making sure that what you're putting your effort into is something good. And you are good, Capricorn. You are good. You're worth that. Five of Pentacles coming out in reverse. Here we have it upright, but through taking time for yourself to address things, this moves out. I love that the Five of Pentacles in reverse is in reverse here for the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to get one more card for the Queen. Give me one more card for the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here for Capricorn, please. Strength. Yeah. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. On the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Pentacles. So again, I'm not going to get into like couples and this and that. This is for single energies. And if you're single, you're single. But either way, moving forward with this, it's going to take time. It's a progression, okay? You have strength coming out here. It's Leo energy. It's about facing your fears. More Leo energy here with the Queen of Wands. Facing your fears, standing within your bravery, your courage. It's a card of patience and understanding that things change within progression, but we have to be steady with that progression. If you're feeling out of sorts in yourself, everything falls apart. I'm loving that the King of Pentacles is coming up at the bottom of the deck, just because basically it tells me that there is a graduation in energy, okay? you go from the Queen of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles. There's an aspect here where we can reclaim our energy, but it's also a very financially astute energy. It's somebody that is very direct in how they view their money, where they allocate their money. It's very, very calculated. This is somebody, typically these two people are people that live in comfort. They are comfortable in their lives. It doesn't mean they're massively rich, but they're comfortable. You know, they're not struggling. They're not stringing their days along penny by penny. They're comfortable, you know. So that's the energy that I have for you here, Capricorn. Is there advice for this? Oh, shit. Got things falling. Hang on. Sorry. You have the staircase, basically, where when the staircase presents itself, it's talking about different avenues, different directions. You know, which direction do you want to choose? Past, present, where do you want to go? You know, it's prosperous no matter what. I will say, though, here you have the Queen of Diamonds presented. That's the Queen of Pentacles. She's upright now, she's upright here in this card. Which direction do you want to choose? At the bottom of the deck, you have the mice, which essentially talks about where our lives have situations that kind of eat holes in them. There's not enough stability. Things are falling apart. You know, we don't have what we need. It's not good. It's kind of like that Five of Cups energy, or Five of Pentacles energy, like that downtrodden. Things are looking drab. Things are looking kind of bleak. Loving this. Woo, and the mountain too. Loving that the fish are under that, though, just because basically this talks about your financial outcome, your financial stability. With the mountain there, it's all about security, finances. This is about getting your shit together, Capricorn, for whomever this is for. Really working on yourself. It feels like you're supported in this regard, but you really have to move forward towards what you want. Good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to let this reading go. I hope it was helpful for you guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you choose to. And if you want to, there's a link in the description box should you choose to donate. So I will talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye, Capricorn.